Cosette seems to be engrossed in some of the sketches in this library. Would you care to have a look at some of the earlier texts in the library's keeping?
Certainly, my lord. Oh, but I could look at this painting forever. It's just such a beautiful example of Da Vinci's early work.
Indeed. Now this, I believe to be some of Da Vinci's most proficient work.
It's amazing. It's so lifelike. I can almost see his muscles rippling underneath his coat. And I could almost feel him pining for the glaciers.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway, on to a text, please.
Ah, this one. You see, here, Rufus writes, of the first time that he meets Elfrida. See, here, my lord.
One minute. See, you've seen one of my weaknesses now, Miss Chater.
Think that this has been written for over 400 years. The moment when Elfrida and Rufus fell in love. Preserved for all time, so that we can read it now. It's amazing. I'm being greedy, my lord. Look, you really must see it more closely yourself.
I thought it was you. I've been watching you for the last few minutes. Is Craythorne here?
Yes, somewhere. If you want to speak to him.
Heaven forbid.
I hope this is important, seeing as you practically dragged me over here.
Flora, you've got to help me. I've eloped.
You've eloped? With whom?
With the prettiest, sweetest... Oh, Flora, you must know that I left you entirely against my will. I didn't want to do so, but the influence Craythorne exerted. I had to leave for both our sakes. But on the way to my estate at Briarwood, I met her.
And fell out of love with me and into love with her almost on the spot.
No, not on the spot. It took quite 3 days to realise what she had come to mean to me. But the family took against me quite instantly, so we eloped. And now I find myself without a penny.
I sincerely hope you don't expect me to give you any money.
Well, not unless... No, of course not. No, I was hoping you could put in a good word with Craythorne for me.
I do not believe this. You left me alone to face his wrath without even a second thought about what was going to happen to me, no matter what you say. He dismissed me and barely tolerates my presence most of the time. What do you think he's going to say to me if I go to him with tales of your romantic adventures?
You really are a cold piece of meat. At least with me. I wonder how you're really paying for your transport here.
You are beneath contempt. I would slap you, but I don't want to soil my hands. Kindly refrain from speaking to me on this or any other subject. My lord! My lord! Please allow me to explain matters to you!
No, Miss Chater, I will not.
My lord!
You forfeited the right to speak to me when you met Malcolm clandestinely, and to think that I was beginning to trust you. Well, madam, you have had your last chance.
I beg of
For the
you!
final time, no. Is that so difficult to understand? Or is no a word you are not accustomed to hearing from a man? You have protested your innocence time and again, and I, like a fool, believed. I really did. And now I find you meeting with Malcolm Brenner yet again. From now on, I will not expect decent behaviour from you, but simply treat you as the strumpet you are. When this journey is over, you will come home with me, madam. As my mistress, you will share my bed. Perhaps if I indulge in the pleasures that Malcolm has enjoyed, I might finally get you out of my blood.
So, I'd sooner become the mistress of any other man than become yours. Your kisses make me sick, and I cannot think of another man whom I find quite as repulsive as you. Is that plain enough?
One moment.
No, no more! Oh, why did you have to spoil it?
Tell me, why not me?
Because I find you so repulsive that I would rather drown myself in the canal than enjoy your slightest touch.
Well, Matthew, in which way may I serve you?
I'm not here for favours. I'm merely here to tell you of my intention to wed.
Indeed. Then I'm bound to tell you that I think you are making a mistake.
Tell me, cousin, what do you have against my future wife?
Frankly, she has not behaved in a way that a lady should.
Devil take me, Lee. I'll not have you speak of Cosette in this way.
Cosette?
Of course, Cosette. Now, do I have your consent?
Of course, I wish you joy. Frankly, I am much relieved.
Why? Who did you think I intended to marry?
Well, Miss Chater, of course. You cannot deny that there was something going on between you at one point.
No, indeed. There was a little flirting, but she does not like it above half.
Really?
Oh, yes. She was quite sympathetic when I told her of my love for Cosette, and even promised to help when she could. She even diverted you on one occasion when I was meeting her in the garden.
Miss Chater was not meeting you herself?
Certainly not. She did not like her role one bit, and insisted on telling you of our attachment as soon as we could. She was very concerned for your feelings. And I wonder, Lee, whether you should not be more concerned for hers.
Miss Chater! Miss Chater, have you been to the palazzo? I've spoken to Matthew and he's told me.
No, I won't
He has
listen.
told
I
me.
can't bear it anymore.
Miss Chater! Flora! The canal!
Have you not done enough? Was it not sufficient for you to drive her out of this house without trying to drown her as well?
I didn't mean to hurt her. I swear.
Really? Just like you didn't mean to ask her to be a mistress? Oh, or treat her with such appalling coldness and contempt.
I appreciate, Ma'am, that she is close to being one of your family, but she has acted in a way that a lady shouldn't.
One mistake. She made one mistake. And for that you have made her pay and pay and pay.
There have been others.
Lord Craythorne, I have known Flora for almost all her life. I know her to be good and honourable and true. I ken her heart. Whatever you may have seen or heard, she is blameless, I assure ye. Why do you hate her?
I hate her?
Yeah, she certainly thinks so. Where? As she, poor girlie. Oh.
Well, are you satisfied? Everyone calling you a hero because you rescued her from the water. She wouldn't even been there if you hadn't driven her from the house. What other vicious slanders did you throw at her before she left the piazza?
None! Upon my honour!
Honour! That's rich. All my life I've admired you, looked up to you almost like a father. Because of your honour. What kind of honour slanders a young innocent woman the way you have done? And another thing. Why did she fall in?
Matthew,
You asked me. She saw you and so frightened that she...
Stop! Do you think that you can possibly say anything to me that I have not told myself 20 times already? Do you think that I don't blame myself for what happened? The last time I saw her, she told me that she would rather throw herself into the canal than have me touch her. I never thought she meant it.
Ha!